Hallelujah. I'm gonna let myself be lifted. I'm gonna let myself be lifted. I'm gonna let myself be lifted. By and by I will lay.
Hey guys, this is Athena. Finally getting to week 29 of the YouTube Pagan Challenge. I've been crazy looking forward to this and trying to figure out how I want to organize my thoughts. So I jotted down some notes. And if you are into crystals as much as I am, probably the best podcast out there about crystals that I've discovered is Psychic Teachers. They talk about crystals in every single episode, at least in the beginning. They usually have a few things. They'll have their crystal of the week, their animal of the week, and their meditation of the week. But sometimes you get lucky, like this past week, where they put out a whole entire podcast about crystals and nothing but that. So the most recent one that came out this past Sunday, the July 24th one, that one was all about crystals. But there's been at least 4 or 5, 6 over there many years on the air. There's also a few YouTube people out there and YouTube channels out there that are pretty good. There's a couple, a husband and wife. They're Irish. They're funny. I love them. One is all about crystals, and I will link them below. I will also link below the other two I'm going to mention. Another one is called Love Light, and she features, sometimes I will watch her videos when I'm trying to zen out or get sleepy, and I've gone to sleep many times watching her, like her Tucson shows when she goes and she's like a collector. I think she definitely sells them. She also I was wondering at first if she was just not any kind of metaphysical woo-woo kind of person, but then a few of her more recent videos where she does seem to have a little bit, she never seems witchy, but she definitely seems metaphysical. So I will link her. And then the other one, I am blanking on her name, but she always talks about crystal blessings. So I will link her below too. Main things. As far as books, I don't have as many books as you would think, or as I would think. For the amount of crystals I have, I don't have that many books. This one was my very first one. It's okay. Not the best thing on the planet. It does have some good pictures. Learn how crystals can change every aspect of your life. And, you know, it's full color, which is nice. It looks like stuff like this. There's blue lace agate, which I love. Never really heard about using it to heal a broken heart. It's more of a throat chakra stone for speaking clearly and eloquently and all that good stuff. But then at the bottom, they also have like the ticker tape bottom of the news channel where it's like in other news. This one, I think almost everybody out there has this one. I didn't get the second and third and millionth one. I just stuck with the first one. The Amazon reviews of the follow-up ones, people didn't seem to like them as much as this one, and I like it. I actually really like the fact that they'll show it in its like rough or raw form and then in a polish, because it does help you with identifying the crystal. I bought this one last night. I was on Amazon pricing the big one because this one, she's like the Bible writer, the true, but like that one says Crystal Bible, but most people really look at this as the Bible if you're into crystals, because it's like one of those Judith Elish books of spells with a shit ton of things in it. There's no pictures. So when I bought it, I was like, anyway. So to get her compendium, her pinnacle, her final word on crystals, $255. And I'm really broke. I might do it. If I do, I'll share it with you guys. I'll do a review. Yeah, I'll move on now. That's it for the books and the podcasts and the YouTube channels. Now I think I can just delve into my opinion and love for crystals and how I use them and why I use them and all that good stuff. I'll pause for a water break. You ever had one of those moments where you like your YouTube name more than your real name, so you just go ahead and buy yourself an initial cup with Athena on it? Yeah, I do. Ooh, I almost forgot. I wrote this down. Here's something awesome. So, if you're into crystals, yes, they have properties. That's scientifically proven they have some properties. Obviously, they may not have all the metaphysical properties you read in books necessarily. You know, we can agree to disagree if people are more scientific and less likely to believe in the woo-woo stuff. Samantha Fay from Psychic Teachers had the best response when some nasty lady butted in at a restaurant. She and a friend, they had this long conversation, and then towards the end, this snotty lady at a table near them, spoke up and said, "You do know those are just rocks, right?" I would have had a hard time biting the old tongue. I would have, knowing me, would have said, "You do know no one fucking asked your opinion or gives a shit, right?" But Samantha had a much better response. So I wrote it down. Here's something I want to commit to memory or paraphrase. If people are like, "Why do you carry rocks around? Why do you always have them with you?" She said, "I realize they are just rocks, but what they are for me is a powerful subconscious reminder of the healing and transformative things that I'm working on in my life at that moment." That was pretty good. It's like, yeah, they are just rocks. But for me, they remind me of some healing and transforming I'm trying to do in my life. You want one of my rocks? Bam! Because you might need to transform. Okay, well, that's that. I use them in spells. I always use them in spells. And so I'll show you some examples of how I've done that. Again, you can get these little tiny containers. A lot of these at Michael's. Just go to the craft stores. They're like $10 or so, 10 to 20, I don't remember, for a bunch. And I bought all that they had. As I always say, I don't like the ones that have been dyed, but some of those came with what I got, so that's fine. I use those as the colored dyed stones that I get. I don't buy them on purpose. If they happen to come with something that I'm buying, then I keep them and use them as offerings when I go on walks. Or if I find something out in nature, I like to give back. I like to make an offering and say thank you. Not all of these are dyed, but most of these are. So I will tilt you down a little bit. Okay. So all the blue ones are dyed, but everything in here isn't. I've got amethyst, and I have pyrite and amazonite and just clear, clear quartz. But okay, so things like that. That's one thing I do with the dyed ones, because there's nothing wrong with the dyed ones. Again, just because I don't like it doesn't mean you shouldn't like it. So if you like it, that's awesome. I'm glad I have something to give as offerings, because I don't know if I'd want to give all my regular crystals. I do give some of them because I don't want to be like, I only give you the cheap stuff, nature. I have purchased many, 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 many of these thingies at Michael's. I make bracelets, or I use them in spells. I plan on making myself some kind of prayer beads one of these days, kind of like mala beads, but with my own je ne sais quoi. And they're reasonably priced. Where's the new ones I just got? So here are some more. And of course, I think I pulled off the tags because I like to make my life hard. These are either Fancy Jasper or Mookaite. I don't remember. I think it's Fancy Jasper. But so these and amethysts. I haven't pulled these off the little strings yet because they've been sitting in where I cleanse them, and I'll show you about that later. Aventurine, lots of those. Last couple things you can get at Michael's is, you've seen these before. I've shown you these before. These are $5. You have to get your own cord, but that's amethyst, and it's not dyed. It's $5. And this one is citrine. I don't remember how much that one is. It was in a different area. It's where they sell their pendants. It's a huge piece of citrine. And just another one of those, just clear quartz. I give away crystals. I give away stones to people. Sometimes you just feel like called or led. You feel guided to share it with someone else. Anytime I've sent love mail, if someone is leaving and I'm giving them a going away gift, or if it's just someone who I know would appreciate it, I give them these things. So I don't have nearly as many as I used to. Another example of how I use them in spells is, this is from when I was interviewing for the job I've now had for a year, and I used 4 different stones. Pyrite for, success and money. Garnet, which is another good one for like job. I think this one's Amazonite and citrine. All these have to do with money and success and abundance. So I did a little spell over these before my interview, and then had this in the bra. I don't have one during, but I had it with me, and then I've carried it with me ever since, like in my purse. I pulled it out to make this video, but it'll go back in. This is like a little hair tonic I made. Again, it's got pyrite in it and some clear quartz and maybe a couple little pieces of rose quartz. It's got oils and water, and I use it to spritz in my hair. It's infused with energies and intentions of attraction and drawing certain things to me. So again, everything I have, everything I do has crystals in it, I feel like. I took some videos earlier that I'll be sticking in here of just walking around in my room in here. These are all cabinets, and I have 6 of them. So like floor to ceiling, there's 3 stacked here and 3 stacked over there, and they're full of nothing except books and witchy items, my jars of things and oils and all that. So I'm going to include a little bit of footage of at least a few of these, and in one of the videos you'll see a little spritz bottle, tiny one, that it's a protection one I made. It's got a lot. It was when I was going to go ghost hunting, and I was having some fears about bringing anything home with me, so it's got some protection things in it along with some protection stones. So here is a look inside one of my cabinets. I got the great idea after watching Tiptoe Chick's videos way back when to collect Patron bottles along with a bunch of other cool jars and bottles that I find and use and wash and reuse. Many of these herbs and things have been gifted to me over the last year. I've got various waters back here, moon water, elemental waters, ocean water, and so on. I'm a big collector of that. You have seen many of these labels from videos I've done. I bought some of the fancier ones from Michael's. Others I've just spray painted with paint. There's my solstice water, which has stones in it, of course. There's the little spritz bottle to the left I was telling you about with the protection. It's got red pepper and lots of other things that will burn you if you try to mess with me. But it also has tiger's eye and various other protective stones inside, little chips. Elemental water that I gather during thunderstorms. And behind this, I have lavender and brown rice. There's salt back there. But I like to combine organic brown rice with lavender. And as I mix it in a bowl, I sage it and pray intentions. And it is what I use for cleansing my stones at the end of the day after using them. I will be showing you the bowl that I keep my jewelry and worry stones and daily rocks that I carry, especially during the school year. I'll show you those in just a couple minutes. So there you have it. There's one of my witchy cabinets, just showing you a third of one side of my room. Now, here's the other side of my room. There in the red container, it used to be a planter, but it makes a perfect size to hold my brown rice and lavender and bury my jewelry or stones or new purchases for a while until I feel like they've been adequately cleansed and they're ready to be used. That is a blue lace agate ring. This is one of my many ginormous jasper rings. That right there is my precious beloved rose quartz that my friend Dwayne gave me. Labradorite earrings, one of them. And I wear amethyst. There's an amethyst earring. I have a citrine pair just like that. Another jasper ring. Over here you see a selenite tower. In this little heart container I have my 2 pumpkins given to me by the lovely and talented Eden, along with a few of my rough raw stones. This is lepidolite. I love that one. Featured it in a video in the fall. This one I believe is one that Nadia gave me and said it was a type of angelite. Over here I have my selenite wand that I actually use quite a bit. I wear these beads often, rose quartz. There's a giant crystal I wrapped and wear that one sometimes. It's huge. I love to wear bracelets that are beaded with crystals. This is from Michael's, a blue lace agate. You can definitely you'll see me wearing that when I have an important day. So that's the inside of one of my cabinets. Now this is a crazy thing. This tree I got at Target. It's one of these little jewelry trees. It was hot pink. Of course I had to spray paint it black. And it also holds a lot of my jewelry that I remove after it's been cleansed. I'll hang it up there. I like to usually keep my crystal stuff away from any other type of jewelry, although I hardly wear any other type of jewelry. So it's just one of those crazy things. And it makes it easier to take it out and charge it in the moon. This is my altar, by the way, currently. And just showing you the role that crystals play on my altar. And rocks up here. I just have regular rocks I have found. Some of them are, one's a lodestone, and some are just beautiful rocks that students have given me or that I've found and are special. And down here, that's a little cleansing mix I use to clean my altar with amethyst in it. Over here, you've seen my giant selenite ball, which I adore, and that's my gift from my sweetie. Has some of my solstice rocks in it. That's my little crystal ball I bought recently. And that is a singing bowl that you can also use for cleansing, along with sage on the bottom, sweetgrass on the top. I love both of those and use them frequently. And never forget the sound of a bell. I use that bell often for cleansing. The last thing as far as this stuff, this I bought from Samantha Faye's website. It's called Crystal Clear. And this will lead me into how I clean my stones. But this is a way that you can cleanse them if you don't want to burn sage, or just bring this along with you. I need to find my glasses because I wanted to read what's in it. Made with holy water. And for her, holy water is actually from her church. She's Catholic. For me, holy water is the ocean. Holy water, sage, and essential oils to protect and cleanse your aura, home, office, and crystals. So if you're interested, it's www.samanthafaye, one word, and Faye is Fey.com, and it's her crystal clear, and her child drew the little picture. Samantha is wonderful. I love her. So ways of cleaning your crystals, the ways I clean my crystals. There's so many things you can do. My favorite ways are, when it's brand new, if I know the hardness of it, the Mohs hardness scale, which is in these books over here, and I know it's safe to be in water, if it's a super hard one that can handle it, like quartz, I will put it in ocean water that I bring home from the beach and let it sit. I'm afraid to leave it for too long. I'm always worried I'm going to mess something up. So I will let it sit for a little while in ocean water, maybe a few hours or overnight. Or you can also, I've never done this, I've heard you can bury it in soil. You can put it in your yard, or if you have a house plant, you can bury it in the earth, in the soil. I prefer brown rice. I use a brown rice, like organic brown rice, uncooked, gross, lavender mixed in, and as I make up a new batch of it, I have real sage smoke, white sage smoke, that I smudge as I'm mixing it together. So I smudge it with that and with intentions, and then I will use that as the place I put my crystals when I'm done with them for the day. So each evening, the jewelry I wear, if I'm wearing something like this Jasper ring, or this is not real stones, but this has like a tiny labradorite on it, anything, and then carrying my stones in my bra. I don't do that as much in the summer because I don't feel like I need the protection as much as I do during the school year. But every night, get ready for a shower, I just put all my jewelry, all my stones deep into my rice lavender mixture, leave it there overnight, or as long as I want to leave it there. On the full moon, everything comes out. I have so many different containers, and if I can find pictures, I will include them in here. I have bought different containers that I put outside, and to the point that this tray, I got this big, I think I showed you in a haul video at some point, huge round metal tray that I sprayed with clear coating so that it can handle elements and moisture and stuff, and I put it outside. It looks like a moon tray. It looks like a full moon tray, and it takes up this whole table I have outside, and then I lay all my crystals out that will fit on there. I have enough now. I counted at one point, not counting the tiny things. I have just under 200 now, so it takes up a lot of space. That's also counting my jewelry, which I have a ton of that too. Every full moon that it's nice, they go outside and they get to absorb some full moon light. I'm very careful about selenite. If there's any chance of moisture, I don't put my selenite outside. Selenite is so fine, it's probably like a 2, I don't know, a 2 to a 3 on the Mohs hardness scale. You got to remember, talc is a 1, and they make powder out of it. You could scratch talc and flake it off. Selenite is just above that. It's either a 2 or a 3. You can scratch it. If it will dissolve in water if you put it in water. So I do, on purpose, sometimes put little tiny sticks of it if I want to put it in a full moon water. Then it dissolves in there, and it's that essence, because to me selenite is the moon. I mean, it's named after Selene, the moon goddess. These are all my smaller, like, they're tumbled and raw, but what's this one doing? Okay. I don't know if you can see it. I sort of color code them a little bit, mainly because I figure like energies want to be together, certain ones. I will say in here, some of my, can I pick a favorite? I can't really pick favorites too much. I did notice in here I have another, I've shown you this one before. That's Tiger's Iron, which I took a wire wrapping class and wrapped that, so that's why it looks so professional. I think my first official pendulum, which is lapis, I say lapis lazuli. A lot of people say lapis lazuli, which actually sounds kind of cool. Never really used it, but I love it anyway because it's pretty. Some of these are so fantastic, and a lot of these were gifted to me. I dated this guy shortly, and he gave me a bunch of his daughter's collection, and I probably should have given it back, but he didn't ask and I didn't offer. They wanted to be with me. So things like this, I mean, look at that. Pretty sure this is a type of jasper. If you know more about this than me, I'm happy for you to correct me. And this one, some are just so funky looking. Don't they just look amazing? This one looks like a delicious marshmallowy treat. Like an ice cream almost. I won't bore you with all that. Others that I love. This I keep right beside my bed. I may have shown you this. I'm sure I have. These I got through Amazon. And I know there's a previous video where I even put the link in there, but they're about $35 or so. They end up being about $1 a stone. So this is more than one. This was like 2 orders because I think you get 20 to 30 in an order. I can't remember. And I've given many of these away. But love, 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 love. So, Sodalite. Check this out. This is emerald. I didn't know this. I had to look it up. Look at that gigantic piece of emerald. Now, obviously, it's not gem quality, but that's okay. It's freaking gorgeous polished emerald. And not all of these came from that website. This is merlinite. This one I bought special for about $15, also through Amazon. Merlinite has properties that just appealed to me when I heard about them. I got into it, but merlinite is supposed to help you get in touch with your intuitive side and especially any guides that you have. And I'm always into speaking with my guides or hearing from my guides. Look at that. Citrine. A lot of you say you love citrine. Now these are all polished. You can get raw ones. I like both, but I guess I like the pretty shiny when things are polished. I have a few rough pieces too, but these are just so much more comfortable if you sleep with them than if it's a rough rock. It does not come with it that I bought recently. This is labradorite. Labradorite is one of my favorite rocks, and I wanted a labradorite palm stone. Got it through Amazon. It's not as big as I would like, but it's just fine. It's a palm. It fits my palm. Malachite didn't come with it. I had wanted malachite for so long, and I finally ordered one. I want another one. Malachite's pretty expensive. Well, maybe it's not, but it kind of is. Let me tell you what's freaking expensive. When I was in Salem and I was in that wonderful crystal store that I mentioned, they had all of the stones I ever have wanted ever, and I just wouldn't spend it. I don't recall if I already told you this, but I wanted one that I call Sugarlight because that's what people on the podcast say, but it might have another name. Sugarlight is a pretty purple, but for a piece, for this size piece, maybe smaller, it was $30. So I didn't feel the need to have it that bad. And then also Larimar. I want Larimar so much. It is so gorgeous. The color is freaking beautiful. Again, for a tiny, tiny piece, maybe even smaller. It might have been like this big. It's freaking like $22 to $25. And I was just like, it's not fair. I want it. And I almost bought it, and I couldn't make myself go there. Larimar is almost this color, but this is not Larimar. I've forgotten what this is. If it was, it would be $50 for that. But it's just a beautiful kind of, it's like a beautiful aqua blue. A couple of the raw pieces I have, I feel like I've given away a few, and a couple of them are in that footage that I either already included or I will include. This is one of my rose quartzes I've had for a long time. This may be the very first crystal I ever bought. I think it is. I wish I'd kept a better record, but I was so secretive about everything that I didn't record anything about when my journey began. But this one, I've probably had it about 5 years, I guess. My very first crystal, and I know I bought it for love. And you guys saw when I got this one at Target, and these smell good because I've taken so many baths with these, and these things are freaking hardy. I keep them out of the sun because the sun bleaches them out. The same with this one. And I don't remember now where I got this. It was probably TJ Maxx. But it's in one of my other videos, probably one of my hauls. And again, it was probably between 10 and 20, 10, 15. Whatever it was one of those, I have to have it. I fucking have to. I use amethyst, things like this, also as a charging plate. So if I have charged something up that I'm really using, like consciously using to help me with addiction or with something I'm working with right now, and I don't want to cleanse it, I don't want to get rid of all that energy and all that charging I've given it, I will instead, if it's a certain crystal, it's usually one or two that I'll carry with me daily while I'm working on something. At night, I lay it on this amethyst bed because the amethyst bed cleanses it but charges it. It doesn't like delete it out. So like I would never sage. I would never. I wouldn't even want to put stuff in the rice because to me that's cleaning it, and I don't want to strip it of the energies I've put into it or the working. While we're on the topic, this is something I learned from Deb Bowen from Psychic Teachers, and it stuck with me. She said she finds it highly, she's a little bit old and opinionated. Someone will tell you that first of all. She's up there in age, and she's gotten a little ornery and a little opinionated, and I'm like, whatever, I get it. I respect her. She says, don't say programming. You don't program them. They work with you. She looks at them, and I kind of do too, really, because I have a little bit of an animistic thing to me, that they're people. She's like, rocks are people too. They're just different types of people, and you don't program somebody to do something. You can ask it to work with you. Some of them come to you with certain properties already, like the rose quartz supposedly being a gentle, soft stone to use to bring love, okay? So you don't get your rose quartz, it comes to you already like that, and you can still, then you can talk to it and have it work with you to help you with self-love or help you with showing love towards others, you know, something loving, creating a loving environment for your home. I've heard a clear quartz you can use, sort of like a white candle, a clear quartz. It can take on any properties. It would be one that if you wanted to have it help you in a certain way, you would need to sort of work with it and talk to it. But again, talk to it with respect and don't program it. You program a VCR is what she says, although, you know, you get it. You program your coffee pot to come on in the morning. I do that. But stones are people too, and your crystals are people too, and you're not going to get a lot of luck if you're being bossy. Okay. This one is another one that I've used, like I said, like the charging plate, but this one, it's more and put some things inside it. If I was wearing this, which was a gift, if I was wearing this and had it working for me for a certain goal, then instead of cleansing it at night, I would put it in here because this is surrounded with amethyst, and that would be a safe place that night until the morning when I was going to wear it again. And I normally, when I am finished at the end of the day, most of the time I do, especially if it's working with me, I kiss it and I say thank you, and sometimes I'll hold it a little bit and talk to it, but definitely in the morning I'll kind of say, all right, here we go again. Please help me today as I do this and this and this. So I think I've said everything I wanted to say. Have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for watching, and be well, guys.
This river will never run dry.